Hi, it's Ian here. Welcome to another 5-minute marketing tip. This week's tip is about how to motivate or incentivize people to refer you more often. Now, we all know that referrals are a great way of developing new business. If someone refers someone to you, there's a good chance they'll become a client because there's a high degree of inbuilt credibility and trust already there. Problem is, most of us just don't get enough referrals. One of the biggest reasons is that even if someone would like to refer us, if they like us, they trust us, they know we do a good job, often they're very hesitant to do so. I'll explain why and how you can get over that after the break. Hi, it's Ian, welcome back. So why are people who like us, who trust us, who think we do a good job, why are they hesitant to refer us? Well, the answer is in the way that we often ask for referrals. Mostly when we ask for referrals, we ask for an introduction to someone, and the unspoken message is that, when you introduce us to that person, we will see them as a potential client and we'll try and get a meeting with them and we'll try and bring them on board as a client. In other words, we'll try to sell to them. Now, of course, we might be expecting to build a relationship in a very nice way and nurture it, etc. But the risk for the person doing the introduction is that essentially they're setting up their friend or their colleague that they're introducing us to for a sales meeting. And nobody really wants a sales meeting, especially if the person doing the introduction doesn't know that the person they're introducing us to actually needs our services right now. It could be a wasted sales meeting. So that's what's causing the hesitation. Now, often many attempts to try and motivate people to refer you or incentivize them to refer you miss the point. So they'll offer a financial incentive for people to refer, and that works in some industries where it's kind of accepted practice, but most of the time it doesn't work all that well. And that's because it's not hitting the reason why they're not referring it. The reason why they're not referring isn't that they're not motivated to. Usually liking you and trusting you is enough to motivate them to refer you. The problem is this hesitation and this unwillingness to set someone up with a sales meeting, and incentivizing them by paying them some money to make the referral doesn't help with that. In fact, it makes them feel a little bit sleazy about it. So here's what works better. It's to use what I've called in the past the Dropbox strategy. So if you've ever signed up for Dropbox before, probably you were sent a link by someone, a friend of yours, who said, hey, I've just joined this great service, Dropbox, free online storage. If you click this link, you'll get some extra storage. The point with that is if you click that link and sign up for Dropbox, then the person who referred you, sent you that link, will get some extra storage on their account. That's kind of their incentive. But crucially, so will you if you sign up via that link. So it's a dual incentive. It's not just incentivizing the person sending the link, it's also giving you a better deal than you could have got if you'd just gone to the Dropbox website. That means that the person sending you the link feels good about themselves. They feel as if they're doing you a favor by sending you that Dropbox link. Not only are they getting some extra storage, but you are too, so they feel good about it. It overcomes that hesitation. In fact, I've seen an even better version of that strategy very recently. You may remember that I wrote a blog post called The Almost Ultimate Guide to Follow-Up, and in that blog post I recommended the CRM system Contactually. It's the CRM system I use, and the reason I like it so much is, firstly, it's simple. Secondly, it's focused on follow-up, which the other CRM systems aren't. It actually monitors your communications with your contacts, and if you've said you'd like to keep in touch with a contact on a regular basis, it notices if you haven't and sends you a proactive reminder to get back in touch. Really great strategy. And thirdly, it has a whole bunch of templates you can set up to make your follow-up much easier to do because of the predefined templates. Now, what Contactually does is for their partners who sign up to refer Contactually and introduce people to the system, it lets them set up a library of predefined templates for those emails. So in my case, for example, I just signed up very recently after I'd used it, decided I wanted to become a partner because I really think it's a great system. And so I've uploaded to that library my 21-word email, the other emails in my Reignite system, and a whole bunch of my follow-up emails. So if someone signs up for Contactually through my referral link, and there's an example below, they obviously become a Contactually member, but they automatically get a library with all my best follow-up emails in them. So that means that not only do I get a kind of incentive for referring people, I think it's something like a 20% commission, but more importantly, I feel good about the referral because I know that the people who use my link will get my very best follow-up emails that they couldn't get from Contactually themselves and they couldn't get from anyone else. So I feel good about it. Now you can use the exact same strategy. You don't have to have a piece of software to do it. If you're a service provider, for example, but you've got a free report, a lead magnet type thing, you do a high value briefing, you share a benchmarking study, any piece of useful, valuable information you have, for example, you can use that to get a referral. So instead of contacting a common contact and saying, hey, I noticed on LinkedIn you're connected to Jim Smith, could you introduce us? Which to the common contact feels a bit like he's going to set up Jim for a sales meeting. You can say, hey, I noticed on LinkedIn you're connected to Jim Smith. We've recently created a benchmarking report that covers the 7 top factors that pharmaceutical companies need to get a grasp of to improve their profitability in the 21st century, whatever it might be. If you were me, how would you go about getting a copy to Jim? Now, to the person you've asked for the referral, the introduction, then, it now feels like they're doing Jim a favour, because Jim will get a copy of your great report or your benchmarking study or a presentation from you or with really valuable information in it. Whatever you choose to use as your kind of referral gift will make your common contact feel good about referring you. And that's really the key. Instead of now feeling hesitant and as if they're setting that person up for a sales meeting with you, they feel as if they're doing them a favour by introducing them to you, and so they are much more likely to do it. So have a think about what you could use as a referral gift to get the people referring you to offer to the people you'd like to be introduced to, that would be valuable to them, that would involve them interacting with you, ideally in a meeting where you review it, or you could send them a copy of it and then follow up afterwards, etc., etc. But make sure you've got something great that you can allow people to give on your behalf that will make them feel really comfortable doing that referral. It'll really increase the number of referrals that you get. See you next week.